With us now, Linda McMahon, America First Action Pack Chair. Linda, welcome back to the program. It's great to see you again.
Thank you, Stuart.
What we've been saying is, and we're trying to make the point, that America is the only game in town. We pay interest. We have a growing economy. But when you look at what's going on in the markets, down 500, 600 points. When you look at what's going in Hong Kong, which might affect the trade talks, it's very hard to say we're king of the hill, we're just fine and dandy. You're in politics. How do you respond to that?
Well, I can say, Stuart, we really still are, the big dog in the economy around the world. You can see it in the strength of our business growth. Even though I'm not still at SBA, I always look back at those indicators because small businesses are growing. Their optimism level is high. They say that it's a time for them to invest and to grow. Consumer spending is up. So, we're having still very strong aspect with our small businesses, and they are the backbone of our economy, so they're strong.
Okay.
And one of the things that, I was listening to this morning on your show was talking about supply chains that are moving out of China. That has been a great boon to many of our small businesses here in the United States, because I've heard them say, look, some of the big companies used to buy from the supply chain out of China, and now they're buying from me again. I'm having to hire more people. There was one company in Illinois that said his revenues were up 170% this year. So I still think the United States is the best game in town, and we're seeing a very strong growth in our small business sector.
Linda, I don't think you can see it, but on the left hand of the screen for our viewers, we have renewed the live shot from Hong Kong. I believe that is the Kowloon Peninsula. It's a little herky-jerky at the moment. Well, what we're seeing is another confrontation between protesters and the police. I'm not sure whether I've seen any tear gas. Maybe. It certainly looks like an ugly confrontation. So my question to you, Linda, is, doesn't this really mess up the trade talks? And isn't that the negative which this market is reacting to?
Well, I can certainly say that I would leave the discussion of the trade talks to those people who are involved, and I think the president has an incredibly strong economic team. I was listening to Peter Navarro this morning. I've listened to Larry Kudlow and Secretary Mnuchin, Wilbur Ross, and those folks that are, and Lighthizer. They're the ones on the ground doing this negotiating, and they're holding strong with those negotiations, and I have every confidence and faith that they're going to do the best job possible for the United States.
Linda McMahon, thank you very much for joining us. I'm sorry it's so short, but this is a jam-packed news day. You know how it goes. Oh, it's great if you're in the news business, but if you're a guest, it's kind of tough. Linda, thank you very much, ma'am. Please come and see us again. Okay, here we go. I got a